1970s Genova PVC fittings. Let's start with this Genova U-Bend. Right away, I noticed something very odd. I reviewed this fitting about a year ago, and it's from the same era. Now you can see how this one is a lot longer than this one. I also noticed that this one has a part number, 78015, and this one has two part numbers, and one of the part numbers is the exact same as this fitting. So I'm not really sure why this one has pretty much the same part number, but this one is longer. You can see it says Genova NSFD WV. You can see how NSF is not in all capital letters. Nowadays, they put NSF in capital letters. It says PVC 1120 78015 was a part number. UPC, they don't put UPC on too many fittings anymore, but some manufacturers still do. And that's out of a screw. When they're screwing the molds together, the screw would show up in the plastic. Here's the other side. A lot more sloppy. You can see there's a huge piece of plastic right there. I'm not sure what that piece of plastic is really for. You can see these are the hubs. This would accept 1.5 PVC pipe. Because this is 1.5, you'd use this on bathtub drains and sink drains. Now there are these markings on here, and this would show you the angle it's at. So this is 90 degrees, it's 45, 45 again, 90, and then back to 45. So if you put this onto an elbow that was supposed to come with it, you could have swiveled this to a true 45. And then you could have gone back to 90, had an exact idea of what angle it was. They don't put those markings on these U-bends anymore, but I wish they still did. There's the inside. Now, fittings back then were very sloppy. I'm not sure why these fittings are sloppy. When I look at a new fitting, you can see it's very smooth and very clean. Now, my only guess is a lot of people were still using these threaded cast iron fittings. And you can see, because these were cast, they were very sloppy. So since people are still using these didn't have to look nice because these were sloppy. I'm not sure if that's the exact reason, but that's really all I can think of. The next fitting is this one here. Now this one could even be from the 60s. See, it says NSFD WV, Genova PVC. That's the part number. Now this side accepts 2-inch threads, and this side accepts 2-inch PVC, so you glue this onto a PVC pipe or street fitting. Now, if you look at this from the side, you'd think it's just a standard PVC coupling, but it has threads on one end. Now they didn't add any sort of area for it to grip onto with a wrench, and it's sold for 65 cents. The next fitting is this elbow here. Now you can see how there's these little stubs on the hubs, and those are called nubs. Now those are designed to lock into these Genova twist lock plugs. So you could glue a PVC pipe into here, or you could put this clean out in. Now they stopped using these nubs in 1990, but they stopped making the twist lock plugs a few years ago. But they do still make twist lock plugs for Schedule 30. You can see that's where all the info on the fitting is. It says Genova NSF PVC. That's the part number in UPC. Now I can tell that they use the old 1960s mold, because in the 60s, that's where all the information was. There's this little, almost oval-shaped area. But then in 1972, they would have added these nubs to the old mold. Let's move on to this fitting. Now this is a street fitting. So this could go into another fitting and accept a pipe on the other end. Now this is 1.5, so it only works with 1.5 pipe and fittings. You can see it has all the information that this fitting had, but the part number is different. See, on the other side, this one doesn't look too bad. This one looks a lot cleaner. See, that's the original price tag. That was the store it was sold at, April 1976, and it sold for 36 cents. That's very cheap. Nowadays, they'd be about $2. You could have bought 4 of these for the price of a new fitting. The last fitting is this elbow here. Now it's a 4-inch 60-degree elbow, so you could offset a drain line by 60 degrees. You can see it says Genova. And it's hard to read the other information. On the other side, it's the exact same way. Now these are very interesting fittings. They don't make them like they used to. There have been a lot of changes since the 60s, 70s, and 80s.